Okay, and we're back, fellas. I'm going to try and wrap up this whole video in this third section here. Anyways, so I got the aftermarket lights and stuff like that. I decided to do my own type of mount up here. The reason why I did that is because, as you can see here, I took off the bar that connects to the top part of this. Okay, I also cut off these outside sections. I did not like that. I like the Stinger look. There's a bunch of other aftermarket parts that you can buy, bumpers and stuff like that. But I just made a little tab, mounted these up there. That way I don't have the bar going through the body, because as I said earlier, there's a split in the body. And to drill through there, it would ruin the sticker that kind of holds it together. It's just kind of a pain in the ass, to be perfectly honest. Then here, I just used some steering end links as my mount on the hood. Okay. Pretty much everything that I've used came in the kit that comes with and it's not the kit, excuse me, it is the RTR version. This is all the extra parts I've pretty much used. And you can find how guys are doing this online. The hood, all it is a C-clamp. Okay, both ends. Wrap it around the top bar. Drill your hole. Make sure that when you go to screw the screw in, it goes through the hood, and then once it starts going into that bottom part of the C-clip, it's got a little bit of a gap, just a little bit. So that way, when you go to lift up the hood, it's strong enough to hold it, but when you go to pull the hood down, these will move on the bar, the crossbar, they won't be completely fastened tight to it. Trial and error, my friends. Trial and error, believe me. Other than that, I just got some extra pieces, this roof rack, I like it. I wouldn't suggest it. Reason being is because this whole top, these bars right here, will pull off this entire base. So I haven't hot glued it or super glued it or anything yet. So when I do a rollover, it does kind of pop off there. As you can see, I've done the cage mod. Simple and easy to do, people. If you want to learn how to do it, go on YouTube. You will find the videos of how people are doing it. I've already done it. It's kind of hard for me to go through the whole, setup on it. But there are very good videos out there. Believe me, you can find them. My antenna here, believe it or not, I play a guitar, and this is actually a string. This is the D string, believe it or not. Okay, it's actually it's pretty good. I think I might have it a little bit kind of tall for the body, but what's cool about it is it waves just like an antenna. It is flexible, quite flexible. It works great. It actually works absolutely fantastic. Okay, so my on-off switch, what I did is I made a template, and this whole piece right here that everything is sitting on is one piece, okay? And it actually, when you unbolt it right here, I have two screws, one screw, and I have two screws, and that's what holds it in place. When you take those out, it'll actually lift up, and then these back pieces will slide out the side as one piece. You don't have to take the cage mod off whatsoever, which is great. Even with all this stuff on here, even with the nitrous bottle and everything, I can actually get it to slide all the way out. It's great. I love it. Also, learned this from a hobby guy at the hobby shop. Told me how to do this. Let's see, what else? There's got to be something else that I want to talk to you about, because a lot of these guys aren't doing very much info. Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm very proud of this. The nets. Look familiar? Think real hard. If you ever had a lunchbox, you'll know exactly where those are from. Okay? The nylon lunchboxes on the side have a netting. Cut the netting off. What I did is I made this part right here, the elastic, a little bit longer, okay? And I drilled a hole through it with the screw. It's very easy. You just hold it on the back side. The screw will screw right through the bungee. Same with this side. Then you gotta have to notch it out so it's not out of your fenders and stuff like that. Cut it. drill some holes right here in the frame. Use some screws to hold it in place, and use these screws to hold it in place. Perfect. I like it. I think it looks good. It's not completely, utterly realistic, but it's pretty damn close. One last thing before I end this video. As you can see, let's make it two more things. But I do have the stock suspension links. That is also another upgrade that I'm going to do, along with the Vanquish axle housings, Mayhem Engineering Trail Ready beadlock wheels. Definitely give it a little more of a realistic look. And let's see, there was something else. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Anyways, but the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about, motors. I'm not sure. Energy, okay? I got the Energy 55 turn with the stock transmission. Now, let me tell you something, guys. I am new to the whole gear ratio. Well, I mean, no, I understand the gear ratio and stuff like that when it comes to real off-road rigs. I have off-road rigs. As far as the RC part of it, I understand it, but I'm still learning which combinations work great. The Wraith has a great transmission in it already. There's really nothing to the drivetrain that I really want to switch out internally because it just works well. But that 55 turn, fellas, with the stock transmission, this thing has a lot of torque now. It did before, but it's slow. And I noticed out crawling, a lot of times you need that wheel speed. So if you, the reason why I got that 55 turn is because I had some issues with my ESC overheating. I was trying to turn too much weight in the wheels because of the weights that I put in them, and the stock transmission and the stock gearing, the pinion is just a little bit too much for the motor and the ESC, and it started to heat up a little bit. So I went with a 55 turn, not knowing how slow the truck really would be. It's still fast enough to get up over, things like that. But if you're hill climbing, dirt and things like that, you want wheel speed. So what I would suggest doing, because of the gear ratio that the transmission has in the 2-speed transmission, which I really want to get next, because it has a low speed for crawling and it has a high speed for getting up obstacles where you need the wheel speed, with also keeping the motor and the ESC at a cooler running temperature where it won't heat and start to shut down. If you want to do like a 45 turn, things like that, you could definitely try that out, see how it works. It's all about personal preference. It's all about making sure that the motor and the ESC stays cool. It's all about the type of crawling that you're going to be doing. I like to do slow technical crawling, and that's why I have the steering servos on the suspension, because I get way more articulation. I can fit in tighter spaces. And I think that's why I'm going to get rid of the hub extensions to kind of suck the wheels back in towards the body, because it's a little bit wide. It's got a great look to it, but it's a little bit wide. So anyways, other than that, I have the lights all hooked up. I bought the NVS system. Yes, I know it's expensive, guys. $90. I get it. Trust me. The amount of money that I put into this thing, my wife has nearly castrated me, along with all the money that I put into those two fucking things down there too. Excuse the language, but they are effing things because they are expensive. And the amount of stuff that you can do to them is literally endless. Endless, okay? Make sure you have some credit cards that you're able to pay off, or, some good money income, okay? If you don't, try and take it easy, all right? Because you will get lost in these things. Believe me. If you're anything like me and all the other guys that are into RC crawling, trucks, cars, you will get lost, and you will get lost fast. And before you know it, you are broke on the side of the street. No joke. So anyways, that's pretty much about it on this. You guys have any questions on how I did anything or anything that I'm doing, how to find these parts or anything, feel free to ask. I know you're probably not going to ask because there's about 9 million other videos out there that tell you where to find them, the part numbers, all this other stuff. But I at least wanted to show you